my first bicycle ride. It was a Saturday morning in the spring of 1974, and the street is still quiet when Thomas woke up. The curtains moved slowly in the soft wind, and the light outside was pale and clean, the kind of light that only comes in the early morning before the world gets busy and loud. Thomas lay in his bed for a moment and listened. Then he remembered, and he jumped up so fast that he nearly fell on the floor. The bicycle was waiting for him. He had seen it the night before, leaning against the wall in the small garden behind the house. His father had covered it with an old blanket, but Thomas had lifted one corner and looked underneath. It was red, bright, beautiful red, with silver handles and a black seat and two wheels that were perfect and round and new. He had stood there in the cold evening air, looking at it for a long time, until his mother called him inside for dinner. Now it was morning, and the bicycle was still there, and everything was about to change. His father was already in the garden when Thomas came downstairs. He was drinking his coffee slowly, standing near the bicycle with the blanket folded in his hands. He looked at his son and smiled. It was a quiet smile, the kind that fathers give when they know something important is about to happen. "Are you ready?" he asked. Thomas looked at the bicycle. Up close, it was even more beautiful. He touched the handlebar with one hand. The metal was cold and smooth. He felt a strange mix of things inside his chest, excitement and fear together, like two rivers meeting at the same place. "I do not know how," Thomas said. His voice was small. "Nobody knows how," his father said. "Not at first." They went to the long, flat road at the end of the street where there were no cars on Saturday mornings. His father held the back of the bicycle with both hands, steady and strong, while Thomas climbed on. The seat was higher than he expected. The ground felt very far away. He put his feet on the pedals and felt the whole bicycle move under him, alive and uncertain, like a young horse that did not know its rider yet. "Do not let go," Thomas said. "I will not," his father said. Thomas pushed the pedals, slowly at first, then faster. The bicycle moved forward, a little unsteady, a little afraid, just like the boy on top of it. His father ran alongside him, holding on, keeping him straight. Thomas looked at the road ahead and tried not to think about falling. He tried to think only about moving forward, and then something happened. The bicycle found its balance. Thomas felt it, a sudden stillness inside all the movement, like the world had taken a breath and held it. He was moving, but he was also perfectly still. He was riding. He was actually riding. He turned to look at his father. His father was far behind him, standing in the middle of the road, laughing, with his arms open wide. He had let go a long time ago. Thomas did not stop. He could not stop. He rode to the end of the road and then turned slowly and carefully and rode back. Then he did it again and again. The wind was cold on his face, and his hands were tight on the handles, and his legs were beginning to hurt a little, but he did not care. He did not care about anything except the road and the wind and the beautiful, impossible feeling of moving through the world on 2 wheels. His mother came out of the house and stood at the garden gate. She watched him ride past, and she put her hand over her mouth, and Thomas saw that her eyes were bright. "Look at him," she said to nobody, or maybe to everyone. "Just look at him." He fell twice that morning. The first time he went too fast around the corner, and the bicycle went one way and Thomas went another. He sat on the road for a moment, looked at his hands, saw a small cut on his left palm, and felt the sharp sting of it. He looked at the bicycle lying on its side next to him. Then he stood up, picked it up, and climbed back on. The second time he tried to go too fast on a small slope and lost control. He landed on the grass at the side of the road, and the fall was soft and almost funny. He lay there for a moment, looking up at the sky, and the sky was very blue and very wide, and he laughed. His father walked over and looked down at him. "Are you hurt?" he asked. "No," Thomas said, still looking at the sky. "Good," his father said. "Then get up." That afternoon, Thomas rode until his legs could not pedal anymore. He rode until the street filled with other people, and the morning became afternoon, and the light turned from pale white to warm gold. When he finally stopped and walked his bicycle back to the garden, he was tired in a way that felt wonderful, like his body had done something it was always meant to do. His father was waiting for him by the door. He put his hand on Thomas' shoulder and said nothing for a moment. Then he said, "You did it." Thomas looked at the red